welcome to my channel. My name is Farida and today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet for absolute beginners. So if you don't know anything about crochet, then this video is definitely for you, or if you're trying to brush up on your crochet skills. So let's begin. You're going to need a crochet hook, scissors, stitch marker, yarn needle and yarn. So I have this premium Aran knit essential yarn. You can get something similar or a DK weight yarn. It's actually thick and it's crochet hook size 5mm recommended. So I have my 5mm crochet hook here with me. This is what I'm going to be using. We're going to start by making a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, we're going to take the yarn, the edge of your yarn, wrap it around two of your fingers like this, and then insert your hook through the back of your finger and pull the yarn through the loop. So I'm going to take out my finger and hold both sides of the yarn like this and pull tight. So I have a knot on my hook. So this is called a slip knot. So you can pull one end to make it tight, which is the long one, and the other short one to make it loose. So that is why it's called a slip knot. You can adjust it. After the slip knot, we're going to make what is called the chain stitch. So this is how a chain stitch is made. You're going to wrap your yarn around your hook and pull out towards you. That's through the loop, and we've made our first chain. So we're going to do this a couple of times. You wrap your yarn around your hook and pull through the loop like this. We have two chains. Wrap it around your hook and pull through the loop. So this is what is called a yarn over, and it's going to be used a lot of times when you're crocheting. So you yarn over by wrapping your yarn around your hook and pulling out through the loop to make a chain stitch. So we're going to make 10 chains, and we've done 4. 1 2 3 4. So we yarn over and pull through the loop. We have 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So we have our 10 stitches. So now it's time to study the chain. If you look at it properly, it actually looks like a chain, especially through the back. This is the back. It looks more like a chain than the front. So let's study the chain. So we have the top loop. If you look at it properly, you can see the V. The one at the top is the top loop. Then we have the bottom loop, and then at the back, this bump here, that's called the back loop. So this is all about the chain. So I'm going to add more chains so that we can learn the next stitch. So I'll add 10 more. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So I have my 20 chains, and if your chain is not looking exactly like this, don't worry. Maybe your tension is not uniform, so you're just going to practice some more to get the chain right. But at the moment, this is how your chain should look. So if you're using a crochet hook that is small, or you're working too tightly, your work is going to be like this. You find it hard to pull out. You can see how hard it was for me to pull out. And the same goes for when you're working too light. When you're pulling the yarn too much, you see that it has so many space, like a lot of space there. So it should just be okay like this, not too hard to pull out, and it shouldn't have a lot of space. So 20 chains, and we're going to move to the next stitch. That's the single crochet. To start the single crochet, we're going to chain 1, which is the length of the single crochet, and we're going to be skipping this first chain we just made here. So we start working in the second chain. So this is the first one, and this second one here is where you're going to insert your hook this way. So when you insert your hook, you're going to yarn over. Remember, yarning over is wrapping your yarn around the hook and pulling towards you. So out the loop, we have 2 loops on the hook, and you're going to yarn over again and pull out through both loops. So we've made our first single crochet. So I'm going to do another one. So insert your hook into the next chain here, like so. Yarn over, remember, wrap your yarn around the hook and pull out through the loop. You have 2 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all the 2 loops. So another one, insert your hook through the loop, yarn over and pull through the loop. You have 2 loops. You're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. So we have our single crochet. We've made 3 single crochets, and we're going to continue doing that till we reach the end of this chain. So you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both loops. So into the next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through the loop. We have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both loops. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. We have 2 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. So this is how the single crochet is supposed to look, and I'm just going to finish this row. It's called a row, so I'm going to finish it and get back to you when I reach the last stitch. So I've made all the stitches and it's remaining just 1 stitch, and I'm going to do that now. Insert my hook into the last stitch here, yarn over. I have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2. So I'm done making the single crochet for this round row, for this row. So I'm going to count. I have, let me pull out and pull this out. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. I have 20 single crochet, and this is because I chained 1 at the beginning before I started and skipped 1. If I didn't chain, I just skipped, I'll have like 20 single crochet. So when you're making a single crochet, you have to add 1 more chain before starting. So this is where I'm going to put my stitch marker to mark my first stitch and the last stitch. If you're not used to this, just put it like immediately when you make the first stitch so that you don't forget. But I can actually locate where my first stitch is, so that is why I left it to the end. And this is the last stitch we just made. I'm also going to put a stitch marker there. So this stitch marker serves a purpose. It's not there for decoration. It's going to tell you where you stopped, where your last stitch is, and where your first stitch is. So in the next round, you don't leave any stitch out. You're going to have a straight walk if you know where you're starting and where you're stopping. So we're going to start the next row. To make the next row, we're going to chain 1. Remember, I told you that is the length of a single crochet. You're going to turn your work. So I'm going to take out the stitch marker now, because that is where we're going to start the next stitch. So this is where you're going to insert your hook. Let me turn the work upside down so you can see the V at the top of the stitch. Each V counts as a stitch. Each V is a stitch. So you're putting your hook under both loops that make the V, like this. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Sorry, camera is not focused. Okay, so you have 2 loops, and that is where your stitch is. So I'm going to yarn over and pull out. I have 2 loops. I will yarn over and pull through both loops. So I've made the first stitch, and I'm going to mark it with my stitch marker. Okay, so the next stitch, remember, under both V's, like this. So yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops. So the next stitch under both loops in the next stitch, so yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops. So I'm just going to keep doing this until I reach the end of the row. So I'm at the end of the row, and I'm just going to take out the last stitch marker and insert my hook at the very top of that stitch. So my last single crochet. So for the next row, we're going to chain 1, turn your work, and start crocheting here where you just did the last stitch you just did. So under both loops, you're going to yarn over and pull through. You have 2, yarn over and pull through both loops. So I'm going to put my stitch marker back here, and we're just going to repeat the same thing, the same way we crochet this row. We're just going to repeat it for like 10 rows, and I'll see you after 10 rows and I'll show you how it looks. I've done my 10 rows. This is the 10th one, and at the last stage I'm just going to insert my hook and make my final single crochet. So I'm done with my crochet, and I'm going to cut the yarn. I'm going to end it by chaining 1 like this and then cutting the yarn. So I'll just pull out, and this is how you finish your work. So I'm just going to take out the stitch marker now. So this is how your 10 rows of single crochet should look. The back and front looks the same because we've been turning, so it's the same. And you should have a straight line like this. Before the edges should be straight because you've been using your stitch marker. So on each row you should have 20 single crochets. If you've missed out a stitch and you have less than 20, you should just recount and start again. You can lose and start as many times as you want. And if your work doesn't look like this, it's okay to have some mistake here and there, but when you practice more, you can get it as neat as this or even better. So this is the end of this video, and in the next video I'm going to be teaching you how to make the half double crochet stitch. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to follow my social media account as well. So thank you, bye, see you in the next one.